start today's class in Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you're already on your mat, come to lie down, bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees apart. And just finding that comfortable position. Maybe placing the hands on your belly, one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. There's always the option to take the arms overhead if you need a little stretch. Now we're living in unprecedented times, and I know that this can create a lot of fear and anxiety within us. Now having to navigate this time in isolation can really put a heavy toll on our mental health. We also happen to be social beings, and it's in our nature to turn to each other for comfort. But just because we can't meet together in person, that doesn't mean that our connection has to stop. Which is why I think it is so incredible that we can find new creative ways of coming together from around the world. Different time frames, different paths, but we're all together as one. When we can't control what's happening, we need to challenge ourselves to control the way that we respond to what is happening, because that is where power lies. Now, one of the greatest lessons that I've learned in my personal journey is that the more you can journey within, the more you can understand yourself, learn to love yourself as you are in this moment. Even when you feel lonely, you will never be alone. I think the more that we recognize that, the happier our lives will be, the more we can take control back. Now in yoga, there's no spiritual bypassing. And right now, being isolated at home, a lot of our old habits to run away from difficulties, to numb what we don't want to address, they've kind of been stripped away. So I would challenge you guys to really notice what comes up. Whatever you are feeling, allow yourself to sit with those emotions, acknowledging that everything in life is temporary. This too shall pass. And there is always choice. Choice in how you behave, in the decisions that you make, in how you treat yourself and how you treat others. Now paying attention to that breath, breathing life into your body. Every inhalation, acknowledge the opportunities, desires, dreams. And as you exhale, let go of all of the things that aren't serving your greater good. Start to think of an intention that you would like to set for today's practice. And once you've set that intention, just take a moment to picture the face of someone you love. Maybe someone that could use a little extra energy today. And offer up your practice to them. Now all together from around the world, breathing as one, I want you to take a deep, full inhale through the nose. Fill up the lungs. Open up the mouth and sigh it out. Once again, take a deep, full, expansive breath in. Open up the mouth and let it go. Last time, deepest, fullest breath in. We open up and exhale it out. Closing the mouth now. We relax the jaw, we place the tongue to the roof of the mouth. If you practice Ujjayi breath, then by all means, please engage it now. Otherwise, maybe just challenge yourself to breathe through the nose as we move through our practice today. And with your next breath in, draw those knees in towards one another. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and we begin to rock and roll forwards and backwards, massaging the spine, gaining momentum, using your core, keeping that ball nice and tight, and on the next roll forward, cross at the ankles, plant the hands, make your way into a tabletop position. So making sure that the shoulders stack over the wrists, the hips over the knees, fingers are spread nice and wide. Moving through some cat-cows. So as we inhale, tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling, drop the belly, lift the gaze, gently pull the hands backwards so you get a nice stretch through the abdominal wall. As we exhale, round out through the back, chin to chest, push the ground away. Once again, we inhale, drop the belly, lift the pelvis, gaze goes up. Exhale, round out through the back, press the ground away, chin to chest. One last time, we inhale to find lift and length. As you exhale, push the ground, curve the spine. Come back into a neutral position. So lengthening the crown of the head forward, keep drawing the navel and the ribs in towards the spine, tuck the toes under, and just hover the knees up off the ground. So just an inch or two off of the ground, feel the core engage as you squeeze the toes and the hands towards one another. Gently shifting your weight back, start to bend through the elbows as if you're coming into a turbo dog. And we're just going to tap the knees down and lift back up. Tap the knees down, come back up. We tap down and up. For another 5, and up. For 4, and up. For 3, lifting. Last 2, and 1. As you start to lift up, press the hips towards the heels and gently start to straighten out the legs, finding your downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, bend the knees, sway the hips, shake out the head. Any movement that feels good to you, reminding yourself to pay attention to the body as we move through today's practice. I'm always here to guide you, but we need to be accountable for what feels right in our bodies. We're all different. Bodies feel different from day to day. So keep listening to what works for you. With your next inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip, but try to keep the shoulders squared off to the front. We take an inhale here. As you exhale, draw that right knee to your left elbow. We're going to create a circle with our knee. So from our left elbow, reach over towards the right. Keep going out to the side as you lift back up. Downward facing dog with that knee bent out. We'll do that 2 more times. Draw the knee to the left elbow. Over to the right. Out to the side, and we push back. Last time, right knee to left elbow. Draw it around. Lift it up and back. We take an inhale in our 3-leg down dog. As we exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Flex your foot. Step the foot between your hands. Lower the left knee to the ground. Release your back toes. Sweep the arms up in Anjaneyasana. Allow the hips to shift forward. Squeeze the feet towards one another so we maintain that lift, that stretch through the left hip flexor. Hands come behind our head. Open up the chest as you inhale here. With our exhale, right fingertips to the right side. Maybe you can reach the mat. And then stretch that left elbow across. Getting a beautiful side stretch through the left side of our body. We take 1 more breath here. As we inhale, come back to center. Release your left hand to the mat. Straighten out through the right leg, so maybe that left hand slides back. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Energetically pull that right hip, that right heel towards you, right hip into its hip socket. Open up through the right shoulder. We take 1 more breath. As we exhale, plant the hands, bend the right knee, tuck the back toes, plank position. Hold your plank position here. Press the ground away, rounding out through the upper back, squeezing those inner thighs, navel draws in. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your forehead to the ground. Start to tuck the pelvis, round out through the back. Last thing that lifts up is the head. Exhale, tuck the toes, push the hips to the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps high to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip, keep the shoulders squared off to the front. As we exhale, bring that left knee to your right elbow. Draw it over towards the left, out to the side, around, and back up. We exhale, left knee to right elbow. Draw it over to the left, around, back, to three-leg down dog with that knee bent. Last time, left knee to right elbow. Circle it to the left, out, push it back. We take an inhale here as you exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose. Flex your foot, step that foot between your hands. Right knee releases, release the toes, sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Same dynamic, squeeze the feet, shift the hips, get a stretch through the right hip flexor. We bring our hands behind our head and open the chest as we inhale. Exhale, left fingertips to the left side, maybe down to your mat as you stretch the right elbow across your body. Take a lovely breath here. Slowly bring yourself back. Right hand down. Straighten out the left leg. Left arm up to the sky. Pull that left hip in as you open up through the left shoulder. Gaze goes up towards the sky. Taking an inhale. As we exhale, left hand down. Bend the left knee. Tuck the back toes. Plank position. Find that strong plank. Push the ground away. Protract the shoulder blades so shoulder blades separate. Navel and ribs draw in. We take an inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and forehead to the ground. Pelvis tucks in. We ripple through the back. Inhale to lift the head up. Tuck the toes, push the hips to the heels, downward facing dog. Come high up onto the balls of the feet. Take your gaze to the top of the mat and tiptoe your feet all the way forward. Find a ragdoll at the top of your mat, but this time take your hands behind your head. Elbows draw in towards one another, chin to chest. Slowly start to bend through the knees, rounding out through the back. We lift ourselves up, vertebra by slow vertebra. As the head and neck lift up, we open up the elbows. Chest reaches up. Take a beautiful deep inhale. Exhale, hands to side. Option to keep your feet hip distance apart or heel toe your feet to touch. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment to connect with your breath, connect with your body. Remind yourself of your intention. It is wonderful to be able to practice with you guys around the world. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday practice. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. We inhale together, sweep the arms high to the sky. Exhale, dive down to the ground, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling through cobra or upward facing. Exhale, we press back, downward facing dog, and breathe. Checking in with your alignment in downward facing dog. Feet are hip distance apart, hands at least shoulder distance. Spread those fingers nice and wide, index or middle fingers pointing forward. Lift the hips, draw the navel in. Work on getting the heels to the ground, but remember if your hamstrings are tight, keep a gentle bend in those knees. We want to maintain a nice long spine. Take an inhale in your downward facing dog. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump between your hands. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Root to rise. Exhale, dive back down, forward fold. Inhale to find length. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump, your flow, high to low. Inhale, lift and lengthen, engage those glutes, and exhale, use your core to lift you up and back. Downward facing dog. All right, yogis, we are going to dive straight into our flow today. We're going to be working on a ladder flow. 3 rounds of our ladder flow to finish things off. I love a ladder flow because it means that you keep working through the same flow, but adding on to it. So it starts to feel natural. You're going to enjoy moving. It's going to feel a little bit like a dance, which is always my favorite style of yoga. Come back to the breath. Any point, should you need to take a break, child's pose is always an option. You can also skip vinyasas, coming straight back into down dog. This is your practice. Remember to find the joy in your practice. All right, yogis, take a deep inhale in your downward facing dog. As you exhale, bend those knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. We inhale to lengthen and exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Take a moment here. Everyone's favorite pose. I'm not going to keep you here too long, but See if you can find ways to ease the pose. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Maybe the toes draw in, the heels press out so you get a lift through the inner arches. Navel and ribs draw in, sit a little lower. Shift your weight into your right foot, draw your left knee towards your chest. We come up to standing as we straighten out through the right leg and exhale, left heel presses back, keeping the hips squared off to the front. Find your warrior three. Now from warrior three, see if you can drop that left hip down a bit, but keep lifting up that left leg. If mobility stops you, bend into the right knee. Arms float back, especially if you have lower back problems. Take an inhale here as you exhale, step the left foot back, and inhale, arms float high to the sky. We exhale, bring the fingertips down to the ground, step the right foot back into your three-leg down dog. Inhaling here, exhale, right knee to nose, tiger pose. Flex your right foot, step the right foot between your hands. Actually, no, I lied. Bring your right leg back up to the sky as we exhale, right knee to left elbow. Bound to happen. Straighten out the right leg, drop the left heel, left arm floats up to the sky. Fall in triangle. Can you lift the hips up? Open up through that left shoulder. We take an inhale here. As you exhale, left hand down. We come back onto the ball of the right foot. Start to step the right foot back, but then come into side plank on the left side. Lift the hips a little higher, squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale here as you exhale, right hand down. Vinyasa or meet back in downward facing dog. All right, guys, that is the base for our flow today. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to find life. Exhale, release. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, Utkatasana once again. Find that strong chair. Squeeze the inner thighs, engage your glute muscles. Shift the weight into your left foot. Right knee to chest, straighten out the left leg. Now flexing your right foot, press that right heel to the back. Arms float back with you, warrior three. Now there's always one leg that's better than the other, but pay attention to those hips. Keep lifting through the right leg. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, step the right foot back. Inhale, arms float high to the sky. We exhale, fingertips come down to the ground. Three-leg down dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. We twist. Drop the back heel. Straighten that left leg out. Right arm up to the sky. Lift the hips a little higher. Open up through that right shoulder. Exhale, right hand down. Pivot on the back foot as the left foot comes out. Side plank. Left arm floats up. Lift the hips. Press the hips forward. Squeeze the inner thighs. Fingertips to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Optional vinyasa. Or straight back to downward facing dog. All right, yogis. Find your breath. You've got 5 breaths here. You can stay in down dog. You can take a child's pose. You can come onto your forearms, finding dolphin. Dolphin is always, I always say this, a great shoulder opener, a great shoulder strengthener. But wherever you are, make sure that you are able to stabilize your breath, that you're tuning into what the body is feeling. That was round 1. We've got 2 more rounds to go. We're adding on to each round. Take it as far as feels good. I know you've got this. Let's do it. All right, yogis, from downward facing dog, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump between your hands. Inhale to find length. Exhale, forward fold, the head and neck relax. Bend the knees, sink the hips, inhale, Utkatasana. Shift the weight into the right foot, left knee to your chest, we straighten the right leg. Flex the left foot as you sweep the left leg back. Warrior three, arms float back. We take an inhale here as we exhale, left foot steps back behind us. Inhale, arms float up to the sky. Exhale, hands frame your right foot. 3-leg down dog on the inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Fall in triangle, drop the heel, straighten the leg, left arm floats up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, right foot sweeps back, side plank as we inhale. All right, guys, this is where we add Drop your left knee to the floor. Lift, so tuck the left toes. Lift the right leg up. Engage that right glute. Slowly start to bring that right knee to your chest and step the right foot to the top of the mat. With the right arm, we sweep it back, down, and around. Come into your high lunge. Okay, take a moment in your high lunge. Let's work on that alignment. So feet are hip distance apart so that you can really square your hips off to the front. That front knee is bending into a 90-degree bend. The knee stacks over the ankle. Tailbone pulls you down so you feel that grounding sensation. But as the ribs and the navel draw in, the arms are reaching up. Try to keep space in the shoulders as we externally rotate our shoulders. All right, guys. I'm already out of breath, so this means we're doing good. Bring your hands to heart center. Lift the shoulders up, back, and down. Once again, we start to shift our weight forward as we hover. Bring our left knee towards your chest, arms up to the sky. We take an inhale here. As you exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Now for those of you that like to play, see if you can start to shift your weight back, bringing that left hand down your right knee. We're going to cartwheel. Left arm down, right arm up, left foot reaches back. Now, if you lost your balance, don't worry. We're going to play with that. Reverse what you just did. Cartwheeling the arms. Maybe find that back bend. Woo! And then lower back. Left arm down, left leg back. One last time. We reverse. Woohoo! And then bring it back. So we're in our twisted half moon. See if you can square the hips. Open up through that right shoulder. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step the left foot back. Find your simple twist. So the left hand might slide back. We open up through the right, gaze goes up to the sky. Now I recently had a teacher call this next pose lazy lizard, which has become my favorite thing. So we're moving into a lazy lizard. From right arm up to the sky, turn your feet to the right, drop your hip, drop your right arm. Let's move through that 3 times. So as we inhale, lift the hip, sweep the arm across. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Last time, we inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Sweep the right arm to a runner's lunge. Right foot steps back. Optional vinyasa. We meet back in downward facing. We're going to dive straight into the left side, so take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana once again. We shift our weight to the left foot. Right knee to our chest, straighten out that left leg. Right foot flexes as you step, as you reach that right foot back behind you in Warrior 3. We take an inhale here, squaring off through the hips. Exhale, step the right foot back. Arms float up with the inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground in runner's lunge. 3-leg down dog. Inhale, left leg floats up and back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Fallen triangle, drop the heel, straighten the leg. Right arm reaches. As we exhale, right hand down, draw the left foot back and around. Inhale, side plank. All right, guys, plant the left foot, drop the right knee, tuck your right toes. Take a moment to find your breath as you lift that left leg up. Engage that left glute. We draw that left knee towards our chest, stepping it all the way to the top of the mat. Back, top arm, reaches back, down, around, back to our high lunge. All right, yogis. Opportunity to slow down, find the breath, check in with alignment. Feet hip distance, hips squared, bend into that front knee. Try to press into your front heel so you get that glute engagement on the left side. As you pull down, some of you might find that the right knee bends a little bit. Can you lengthen it out without really moving the rest of your body so that you get a nice stretch through that right hip flexor? We bring our hands to heart center. Shoulders reach up, back and down. We shift our weight forward. Right knee to chest. Come to stand. Arms up to the sky. Bring your left hand to right knee. right hand behind you. If you want to play, we start to find that slight back bend. As we exhale, cartwheel, right hand down, right leg back, left arm up. We reverse what we just did. Right arm sweeps, left hand to right knee, slight back bend, and then bring it back. All right, guys, one last time. I know it's wobbly. We lift the knee, find that twist, slight back bend. I know I'm gonna fall. And then cartwheel the hands back down. We are in our twisted half moon. Open up through that left shoulder. Start to bend into your left knee. Drop the right foot as the right hand slides. Simple twist. Now in our simple twist, can you square your hips off so that right hip wants to come down? Can you lift it up as you open up through that left shoulder? So we're finding a really nice deep twist here. Lazy lizard. Feet to the left. Drop your hip. Drop that left arm. Inhale, lift the hip, sweep the arm up and over. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. We inhale to sweep that left arm all the way around to a runner's lunge. Left foot steps back, high to low, totally optional. Otherwise, we are in downward facing dog. All right, guys, how we doing? Find your breath. You've got your 5 breaths here. Believe it or not, 2 rounds are down. We've got 1 more round to go. You are doing fantastic. Whatever you want to do in these 5 breaths. Same options available, child's pose, down dog, dolphin. Maybe some of you are feeling ready to start lifting up a leg. If you practice inversions, be my friend. Keep it safe. Be my guest. You are my friend. All right, guys, take 1 more breath where you are. All right, guys, last round. Let's have fun. Downward facing dog, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bend those knees, lift forward, step, or jump to the top of the mat. We inhale to find length. Exhale, release down to the ground. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. Shift your weight into your right foot, left knee to chest, flex that left foot. Sweep the left leg back, find warrior 3. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, drop the left foot. Inhale, arms float up, high lunge. Exhale, runner's lunge, hands to the mat. Inhale, 3-leg down dog, right leg floats up and back. Exhale, we twist, right knee, left elbow, fallen triangle, left arm floats up to the sky. Lift the hips as you inhale. Exhale, left hand down, draw the right knee back. Side plank as we inhale, right arm up to the sky. Drop your left knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg. Bring that knee towards your chest. Step the right foot forward, sweep the right arm back, down, and we lift up to a high lunge. Inhale in your high lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, shoulders up, back and down. Hover the body forward as we bring that left knee to our chest and the arms to the sky. Right hand, left knee. Left hand behind us. Slowly reach back. Cartwheel the hands down. Left hand down, right arm up to the sky. We inhale in our twist. Slowly bend through the right knee. Left hand slides back as we find our simple twist. Turn your feet to the right. Drop your hip on. Inhale. Sweep the arm around. Turn your feet to the left. Walk to the back of your mat. Come into Skandasana. All right, guys, did we all get there? We'll play with that, don't worry. So right toes are pointing up. Now I'm all the way down. That doesn't mean you have to be there. If your left heel is lifting up, if your hands are on the floor, you do you. As far as you can go is absolutely fine. If you're with me and you feel comfortable where you are, left hand to the ground, right arm reaches up to the sky. We open up our chest. We press that left knee away. We keep pulling that right heel energetically towards us. Take an inhale here. All right, yogis, this is a tough transition. Please feel free to use your hands. I will show you where to go with your hands, and then I'll show you where to go without them. We are going to walk to the top of our mat. Right hand reaches forward. Lift the left leg up. Find your half moon pose. Now, if you wanted to play with that without your hands, we're going to press into our legs, reach forward, and come into Ardha Chandrasana. Right toes point forward, left foot is pointing to the left side. Open the hips, open that left shoulder. We take an inhale here. As you exhale, standing splits. All right, yogis, option to grab onto that ankle with one hand or both. Some of you might want to bend into that left knee, grabbing your left foot with your right hand, melting the chest towards your thigh, head and neck relax. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly we release that left foot next to the right and forward fold. Guess what? Left side, bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, arms float up. Shift your weight to the left foot, right knee to your chest. Flex that right foot, straighten the left leg. Press that right heel back as you transition through Warrior Three. Take an inhale as you exhale, bend the left knee, right foot steps back, arms float high to the sky. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Inhale, three-leg down dog, left leg floats up and back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. We twist, fall in triangle. Right arm reaches, hips go high. Exhale, right hand down, left foot steps back. We turn to side plank on the right side. Drop the left foot, lower the right knee, tuck your right toes. Lift the left leg as you inhale. Exhale, left knee towards your nose. Step it forward. Left arm sweeps back, down, around as we pick ourselves up to a high lunge. Hands to heart center, exhale. Inhale, shoulders reach up, back and down. Hover your weight forward. Right knee to chest, arms to the sky. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Maybe you start to back bend, and we cartwheel. Right hand down, right foot back, left arm up to the sky. Take an inhale here as you exhale. Step back into that simple twist. Lift through the right hip, open through the left shoulder. Turn your feet to the left. Drop right hip, drop left arm. We are transitioning to Skandasana. Sweep the left arm around. Turn to the right. Walk to the back of your mat. Bend your right knee. Left toes point up to the sky. Now, if you came with me on the last round, right hand down, left arm up. We open our chest. Beautiful, guys. Taking one more breath here. Now our next pose, whether you use your hands or not, is half moon pose. Left fingertips in front of your left foot. Right leg floats up. Right toes point to the side as we open up through that right shoulder. Beautiful, guys. Press into that left big toe for balance. Open up through the hips. Keep lifting that right leg a little higher. Engage the outer glute. As we exhale, standing splits to the floor. Maybe you grab your ankle with one hand or both. Maybe you bend that right knee, left hand to right foot. Wherever you are, melt your chest over that left leg. Head and neck relax. We take one more breath where we are. And then release your right foot to the ground. You guys are awesome. Grab onto, separate your feet, hip distance. Grab onto your big toes with your two-piece fingers. Inhale to lift the gaze, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, relax the head and the neck, bend the elbows out to the sides. Now, we don't have a lot of pulling in yoga. So as the toes push down, pull the toes up, bend the elbows, engage your bicep muscles. Shift your weight to the balls of the feet so that your hips can stack over the ankles and you get a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Come back to the breath. Slow that breath down. Taking one more breath in your forward fold. Release that toe grip. Separate the feet a little wider. Bend your knees. Come down into a yogic squat, Malasana squat. Now let's stretch out our back a little bit. So reaching the fingertips as far forward as they will go, I want you to pull your hips back towards the ground. So you're really rounding out through the spine, chin to chest. You should feel a really nice stretch, especially through that lower lumbar. Now, option to stay here, option to bring the arms around your shins, reaching behind you to grab onto your heels, and then maybe work towards getting your forehead to touch the floor. Now, we are creating that rounding position of the spine to prepare us for crow pose. You can stay where you are. If you do practice crow, you can lift yourself yourself up, plant the hands. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Knees are reaching as high up as they can go. Now the trick in crow pose is that you want to shift your weight forward as far as you can go so that your elbows stack over your wrist. As soon as that happens, you'll find that your toes almost hover off the ground. Your gaze should be at the top of your mat. If you have a strong crow pose, any variations, otherwise lift the heels up, press into the arms. We are all going to transition through a vinyasa. So if you were back in that stretch, we plant the hands, step back. Always optional. Otherwise, we meet back in downward facing dog. All right, yogis. That dynamic part of our flow is over. You did great. You've got 5 breaths here. Anything you want to do before we start moving onto some stretches? We still have, don't think my stretches are non-dynamic. We still have a little bit to go. But the toughest, most challenging part is over. If you'd like to play with some inversions for these 5 breaths, if you want to be in child's pose, by all means. When we finish our 5 breaths, I would like all of us to meet in a child's pose. Come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Now, if you happen to be upside down, don't feel like you have to rush in any way. But let's start to think about making our way into that child's pose. Options for child's pose, either knees apart, toes together, arms reaching forward, or knees together, toes together, arms reaching back as you open up through the shoulder blades. So from our child's pose, we reconnect, we regroup, we notice what comes up. The beauty of our practice is whether we choose to or not, we move things within us, physically, emotionally, mentally. And as we slow down, we become better equipped to pay attention to the things that need to be addressed. Now from your child's pose, just coming to sit up on your shins, coming into Virasana, bringing your hands onto your heart, closing your eyes. Now, anytime that you find yourself struggling with the situation that you are in, whether it's this crisis or otherwise, know that you can always come to this space. This space is your safe space. Find that connection to yourself, remembering that when we're true to ourselves, when we are authentic, when we love who we are in this moment, you will never really be alone. Feel the energy of all the other people from around the world practicing with you right now. That universal energy that unites us as one. Gently blink the eyes open. Bring the hands forward into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, lift the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right knee to nose. Flex your foot, step the foot between your hands. Lower the left knee down and straighten out through that right leg. Ardha Hanuman. Try to get that left hip to stack over your left knee. Right hip pulls in, so that right heel is drawing towards you as the right toes point high to the sky. Now the navel is drawing up, but you want to be bringing that navel down towards the ground, lengthening out through the spine, keeping that chest nice and open. I know some of my yogi friends like to do full splits. If you practice full splits, that right leg goes forward, left leg back. Try to bring your hands towards the hips to find length through the crown of the head. Otherwise, remain in your half splits, stretching out through the back of that right leg. Try to find ease. So breathing space into the body, and then exhale as you release. My full splitters, draw your right leg back into half splits. Everybody tuck your left toes. Bring your left hand onto your mat, right arm up to the sky. We're back to where we began at the beginning of class. But this time, I want you to press into your left toes. Start to lift your left knee up, turn to the left side, and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands in line with your feet, the crown of the head down towards the ground. We shift the weight of the body towards the balls of the feet. Now my yogi friends that would like to come into a tripod headstand, this is your chance. Otherwise, just enjoy the forward fold. The stretch through the backs of the legs. The upper body is completely relaxed. If you're upside down, starting to make your way out the same way that you came in, we all inhale to a halfway lift. Now, I would like you to bring your right hand to the middle of your mat. We're going to reach our left arm under and give ourselves a little stretch as we grab onto our right ankle, right shin, right thigh. Just give yourself a little stretch here. And then coming back to center, we change sides. Left hand to the center, right arm reaches under, and we twist. Trying to look underneath that left armpit. Taking one more breath here. Now we come back to center, but I want you to keep that left hand exactly where it is. Right arm is off the floor. We are going to shift our weight into our right foot, left hand. Start to turn your feet to the top of the mat. Bring your left foot through your hand and come to seated. All right, guys. This is a bit of a Pilates exercise here. So your left hand is behind you, fingers are pointing forward. Lift your hips up into a one-legged reverse tabletop. Now, you're gonna lower your hips down, and as you lift, touch your toes, your left toes with your right hand. We lower and lift, lower and lift. 2 more times. Lift, last time, lift. Lower your hips down, keep that left leg lifted. Bring your right knee to the ground. Grab onto your left foot with both of your hands and straighten that left leg up to the sky. Open the chest. Reach that leg towards you. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, release the left leg down. Arms float up, and we forward fold. Now, depending on what your body needs, you can stay in that Janu Shirshasana, that standard forward fold. You can take a twist, bringing your left hand to your right knee and reaching across. You can also reach that right hand to the outside of your left foot and bring your left arm behind you. So always variations and poses for you to really focus on what your body needs right now. Beautiful, guys. We take one more breath here. And then slowly start to lift ourselves up. We shift our weight to the right hand side. That left leg is going to slide back behind us. We're going to press into our hands to lift the hips and come into pigeon. Now if that did not feel good to you, then by all means come back into your down dog and draw that right shin to the ground. We lift the hips, we open the heart, we take an inhale, and as you exhale, release yourself down over that right shin. Now as we move into our stretches and we have more time to focus on these postures, just take a moment and consider what it is that you're feeling. So if there's any pain in that right knee, you can always come to lie down on your back and thread your arms, coming into a reclined pigeon. If you feel like you don't really feel anything, then try moving a little bit. Sometimes it might feel better bringing your knees to almost 45-degree angles and then walking your hands to the side. Maybe you just need to shift your hips a little bit. We so often get caught up in what postures should look like that we forget what they should feel like. In this pose, you're trying to feel the stretch through your glute and IT. But once you find that sweet spot, let go. Surrender. Breathe. Taking one more breath wherever you are. we slowly start to lift the upper body up, planting the hands, tucking those back toes. We sweep the right leg up to the sky. Give that leg a good old shake, and then release it down to the ground. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, left knee to nose. Flex your foot, step the foot between your hands. Right knee releases, we shift our weight back, straighten the left leg out. Now, left hip pulls towards you. So we're squaring off through the hips. As I move that hip back, my toes start to lift up. That heel is energetically drawing in. Belly draws in, but belly's also reaching down towards the ground. Our heart stays open. Length through the spine. The more we maintain that length, the more we pull into the back of the leg so we get that stretch. Maybe you stay here, maybe you took full Hanumanasana. Whichever variation you are in, breathe. Breathe length, breathe space. The more that we can calm the body down, the more we can relax the muscles, the deeper we can go into our stretches. Full splitters. Start to draw that left leg back. We all meet in a half splits. Right hand down, left arm up to the sky. Tuck the back toes under. Keep pulling that left hip back as you open up through the left shoulder. It should feel like a really nice stretch. We start to lift the right knee up off the ground, and we turn to the right hand side this time. I'm going to come face you guys. Now, inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, walk your hands through your legs. Fingers are pointing back. The tips of your fingers are acting as grips as you pull the ground to draw your upper body through your legs a little further. There is an option for tripod here. Please make sure that you practice it safely before lifting up. Take your time. Even if we move on, keep it safe. Those of us that are forward folding, see if you can shift the weight ever so slightly forward into the balls of the feet. We continue to find length through the backs of the legs. If you're upside down, start to make your way out the same way that you came in. And then walk your hands through your legs, and we meet back in that halfway lift. All right, I think I have to turn, otherwise I'm going to forget where we are. Okay, yogis, this time we're just going to bring our right hand in between our legs. We're going to turn our feet towards the left. Shift your weight into your left foot, right hand, and step your right foot through. Now come to sit down for a moment, and then bring your right hand behind you, fingertips pointing forward. We're going to lift the hips up in a one-legged reverse tabletop. Lower the hips, lift and tap that right foot. Lower, lift. We lower, lift. Two more, lift. Last one, lift. Lower down, bring the left knee to the floor. Grab onto your right foot with your hands. If you can, straighten out through that right leg. Draw the shin towards your chest. Keep the length in the spine. We take an inhale here. As you exhale, release that right foot to the ground. Arms float up, belly draws in, pelvis tilts back. We forward fold in Janu Shirshasana. Remember your options. If you feel like you need a different stretch, maybe your sides, you need to twist. Right hand to left knee, left hand reaches up and over, or left hand to the outside of your right foot, right arm behind you, and you twist. Your practice. Do what feels right for you. We take one more breath in our forward fold. Inhale to start to lift the upper body up. Shift your weight into that left leg. Draw the right leg back behind you. Hands lift the hips to square the hips off. Remember, you can come through down dog as well if this transition doesn't work. We open the heart as we inhale, and exhale, release down over that left shin. Notice if you happen to be weight bearing at all. So a lot of times in this pose, we bring our forearms onto the ground and put a lot of weight into our shoulders to stop our hips from going any further. If you have anything that you can put over your forehead that might allow you to release the arms. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or we're squeezing, tensing any muscles. Can you breathe deeply into the body, and as you exhale, will yourself to let go? Quite often we're not just holding on physically, but we're holding on emotionally. So working with our breath, working with our body, we can release some of that tension. Taking one more breath where you are. Slowly start to lift the upper body up. Changing it up a little bit this time, we're going to shift our weight back into that left side. Draw the right leg around. Bend both of your knees so your feet are hip distance apart. Reach the arms forward, draw your chin towards your chest, and start to roll yourself down, vertebra by slow vertebra. As your back reaches the ground, draw your knees in towards your chest. Keep the right knee in, the left leg goes long. We're going to take our hips a little bit over towards the right, but then draw your right knee to the left using your left hand. Maybe you cactus the right arm, taking your gaze to the right hand side as you allow yourself to twist. Taking one more breath here. Gently coming back to center. We hug our knees in towards our chest and change sides. Keep the left knee in, right leg goes long. Shimmy your hips to the left and draw that left knee across the body. Cactusing through the left arm so the shoulder stays connected to the ground. It is more important to keep the shoulders on the ground than it is to bring that left knee to the floor. Taking one more breath here. Slowly coming back to center. Hugging both of your knees in towards your chest. I want you to give yourself the biggest squeeze you could possibly give yourself. Your head lifts up, your nose touches your knees. I want you to take a deep inhale through the nose. Hold your breath as you squeeze and tense every single muscle in your body. You tense, you tense, you tense. Open up the mouth and exhale. Release everything down onto the ground, coming into your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Now the legs go long, the feet fall out, the arms are away from the body, the palms are facing up towards the sky. No longer controlling your breath, no longer controlling your body. Each and every natural inhalation and exhalation melts you deeper and deeper into your mat and into relaxation. I'm just going to share with you something I wrote. Don't feel like you have to pay any particular attention. Just allow anything that resonates to sit with the subconscious. In an age of time-saving devices but not enough time, we have been gifted an indefinite supply. Time to slow down. Time to tune in. Time to deepen awareness, to build compassion, and to rediscover creativity. We have been presented with a new fear and challenged to be brave, to find courage and light in a time of overwhelming uncertainty and darkness, to remember that life isn't about ignoring the difficulties, but finding strength as we participate in whatever it brings with an open heart. We are called to open our consciousness in this time of crisis and to hold space in the healing energy of love, because only love can heal. To never again take things for granted. Though we have been kept physically apart, we are discovering new ways to come together. We are reminded that we are one family with an energetic vibration of one heartbeat. We all matter. We are being shown our interconnectedness and the impact of our actions on others. When we look on the world of tomorrow, will we be able to tell our children that we didn't give in to fear and self-preservation, but instead embraced the unknown and rose above to help one another? Let's all be a channel of light, because we are light. We come from light and we are headed towards the light. We are united in consciousness and our shared humanity. Repeat to yourself, I am love, I am health, I am harmony, I am well-being. I welcome spring. May it bring its energy upon us all, for life to flourish, for health to flourish, for harmony to flourish, for well-being to flourish. So may it be, and so it is. If your awareness left, just gently draw it back in. We become aware of our senses, feeling the weight of our body on our mat, the temperature on our skin, the sound of my voice, the music. We notice our breath once again as we deepen our inhalations and exhalations, savoring each and every sensation because we can. Start to wiggle those fingers, wiggle the toes, sway the head gently from side to side. Reaching the arms overhead and stretching as if you just got up. Ready for whatever life brings your way. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself that well-deserving squeeze, always using this as an opportunity for gratitude. Thank yourself for being here. Thank your body for all that it does. Rolling over to the right-hand side. Take a moment here to connect with the earth, the ground below you. Draw that energy in. Remind yourself of your intention. Make a note to take that intention with you so that we can all live our lives with purpose. Pressing yourself up to a seated position with me today. Namaste. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. I will be teaching some more live classes, so please check out my Instagram, Mindful Sonder. My husband and I and a friend of ours are also building a live stream website for teachers to use. It's going to be better than Zoom and IGTV, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Please stay in touch. Please send me photos of you guys practicing. I see you very tiny right now, but I'm eternally grateful. I'm going to pass this on to the hosts of Lululemon. Stay in touch. Thanks, guys.